Hello, my name is Jasmine Joseph. I'm a senior legal communications major from Queens, New York, and I'm here making this video today about STLC, which is stop, think, listen, and communicate, a four-step process that we're using or that we need to use to solve conflicts, interpersonal conflicts. So, um, I guess I just wanted to talk about what STLC is and why I think it's important for us to use when resolving conflicts in our lives. I definitely, after watching Dr. Langmia's video and reading the chapter about this, I really felt like this is something that I want to try to use in my personal life when resolving conflicts, and that I think that other people should use as well, because I think it's something that we can really benefit from greatly. And as communicators and, those of us, studying communications, that this is something that will definitely benefit us. So stop, think, listen, and communicate consists of four parts. The first part obviously is stop. And this to me was the most important step in this whole process. I think that stopping is something that will really allow you to gain a better understanding of the situation that you're in and how to respond to it before you just jump in and do something that you may regret or do something based off your emotions. So stopping really allows you to just wait. Let me take myself out of the situation for a second. What's going on? Let me, calm down and rationalize with yourself, about what the situation is and how you should, proceed. The next step, think, is probably equally as important because it allows you to really internalize what's going on and think about what your options are as far as moving forward. So thinking allows you to really weigh out the situation in a way. You can say, okay, what are my options here? Should I proceed, by talking to the person? Should I not talk to the person? Should I, whatever the situation is, thinking really, it gives you power, really. It gives you the power over the situation to make sure that you're dealing with it in the best way possible. And I think it really is beneficial for you and for the person that you're dealing with, because after you've really had a chance to think about the situation, you know that the way that you're moving forward is something that is, makes sense and aligns with your values, your goals, and who you are as a person. A lot of times when we don't think about things and we just jump in and we just make an action, it really can lead to making the conflict a lot worse, because oftentimes, I know for me personally, when I don't think about something and I just go ahead and do it, I sometimes I end up doing something I regret, or I think about it later after the fact and I realize, wow, this is not something that, this wasn't the best way to handle that situation. So thinking really eliminates all of that. Listen, I think listen is something that I know for sure I could definitely do a lot better, and that I think most of the people I know could do a lot better as well. A lot of times we listen, but do we listen for the right reasons? Do we listen for the right things? No. Sometimes, or most of the time, I think people listen to just be able to have something to say back, to come up with a response, instead of really listening to try to understand that person's point of view, or to really understand where they're coming from. If you're listening with an open mind and you're not going into the conversation expecting for the person to say what you want them to say, then you can really benefit from hearing the other person's side of the story, because you never know. You could have said something that you thought was perfectly fine, but that they took the wrong way. And it may have affected, the triggering situation. Or that person may be going through something in their life that caused them to act the way that they're acting. I mean, you just never know. So when you listen and you get the other person's side of the story, it really gives you more information about what's going on, and it helps you also to know how to proceed with the situation. Um, when you only know one side of the story, it's really, even if it's your side and you think you're right, you really don't have all the information that you need to make an informed decision about what's going on. So listening is definitely important. And then lastly, communication, which we all know is important because we study it. And the thing that for me really stood out about this particular process is that communication is last. So oftentimes in conflicts, we can be in such a rush to communicate because we want to just say how we feel, we want to get it out, we want to, yell, or we want to, get our point across to this person, and whatever the case may be. But really, here, communication comes after you stop, after you think, and after you listen to what the other person has to say first. Then, only then, you respond and you communicate your feelings or your side to that person. So it really, really struck me that communication, you have to do all these things before you communicate. And I think it's great because it makes your communication that much more effective. When you put all this thought behind it, you've gathered your information from the other person as far as, what their side of the story is. You've stopped, you've gathered yourself, and you're now calm and rational, and you're ready now to say what it is that you have to say. What you say now after this holds so much more weight because you've put more thought into what it is that you're saying. And it really makes your communication more effective, and it allows for the other person to take what you're saying more seriously because you're calm and because you've taken the time to listen to their side of the story. So this is something I really, really am excited about. I'm happy I learned about this because I really want to try to use this in my personal life, and I really think I can benefit from it. And I encourage others to do the same and to use it as well, because I think we all can be better communicators, better listeners, and just in general, be better with resolving conflicts in our life. There's always room to improve. So I thank Dr. Langmia for, allowing me to do this, study and learn this information, and I am excited to implement it into my daily life. Thank you.